Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Hello, Miami Dolphin fans. Our Miami Dolphins, as we're celebrating on a Victory Saturday. Yes, I said Victory Saturday. We are enjoying a Victory Saturday here in Dolphin Island. Our Miami Dolphins still atop the AFC East, still couple games ahead of the Bills in the loss column, pending their coming out game this week. We couldn't even gain another ground on them. Good overall win. Of course, the Jaelan Phillips injury was a bummer. But Steve, overall, we got to feel good. 8-3. Yes, we were 8-3 last year, but this just feels like a different. I know we say that every year as a Dolphin. Oh, but this is different this year. But this 8-3 does feel different than last year's 8-3. Do you agree?
First off, Dolphins number one, baby.
Oh yes,
Dolphins
Dolphins
number
number one.
one.
Hey,
Uh,
hooked up Joe and Jamaican. But
yeah,
yeah, I was just asking you if it feels
yeah,
different this year's eight and
yeah. It
three.
does.
I suppose.
It does, Rob. To answer your question, it does. It feels like a different 8-3. And we were discussing this earlier. I'm happy right now where we're at. Heck, we're the number one seed, right? And number one in our division. I believe it's Kansas City is underneath us. They're number two. Um, our defense is trending. You got to feel good about that. Christian Wilkins is playing like a monster out there. The whole defense, Cater Kohu making hits, playing football one-on-one, playing fundamental football and just making sure he's making sure tackles. You got to be happy about the defense. Javon Holland returning that 99-yard interception. So what else? What else can you not be happy
No,
about? This
no.
team is winning, man. They're 8-3. Sure, the offense. And we'll get into that, Rob. We'll get into that, but the offense is needs to work on some things. Tua needs to work on
Yeah,
some things, but other than that, we're 8-3, and I'm happy, Rob.
yeah, yep. Me too. Good morning, Jay and Scotty. And no, you're right, Jay. Things will change seating rise after all the other teams play this week. But you never know. You never know. Maybe some teams can lose and whatever. But for right now, let's just celebrate this victory Saturday with a big fins up to all you guys.
I'm sorry, you're right, Scotty. It was Baltimore. I said Kansas City. My bad.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. Oh man. So anyway, Kansas City probably will beat the Raiders this week, but you never know, man. We everyone thought the Packers would get destroyed on Turkey Day, Thanksgiving by the Lions, and that didn't happen. So you never know. The
hmm
Dolphins yesterday, outside of losing Jaelan Phillips, and we got a couple other injuries we're gonna have to
Yeah.
monitor, Devon Holland, Armstead, and all
Yep.
those guys. But outside of the for sure devastating injury of Jaelan Phillips, it was a good game overall. Yes, Tua has to clean up the interceptions. Other quarterbacks are throwing interceptions too for whatever reason. It's just a league throwing the ball around a lot more. But I don't care about those other quarterbacks. I care about our quarterback, and he's able to get away with a pick six in a game like yesterday. And I said it on the air yesterday. I said the only way the Jets are going to score is if they get like
Yeah,
pick six
you did.
or they get a special teams touchdown and load me hold and then they got a garbage time touchdown like we got a garbage time touchdown.
hmm
So we even that their garbage touchdown out. But so they got that pick six. I predicted Javon Holland, Ramsey, or Howard would get an interception yesterday, and they did. Holland obviously did.
Yep.
So that's the good things. But we do have to clean up the turnovers no matter what. We just have to. Can't do that against when we get the rate going into Baltimore. If you turn the ball over 3 times, including a pick six, if you do that against Dallas, and then against Buffalo on the final game of the season, it's not a recipe to beat those teams. We've escaped doing it against the Raiders. The Jets are just they're just a hot mess right now, to put it nicely. They're just and I'm not saying, they're done for the season, but the Jets right now are just sliding off the runway, to put
Mm-hmm.
it nicely.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
yes, that crazy is the end of the first half. You're screaming at the TV. Why would he throw that pick six to he comes back, throws another interception. Then the next thing you know, we get the reverse Hail Mary, or Fell Mary is what people are call it, or Hail Mary, whatever you want to term it. It was like, it's just crazy. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
believe it. I kept on thinking, oh, he's going to get caught just to tease me, like right on the 5-yard line. But he even said, I took the ankles of the quarterback as he juked him out, and the quarterback was diving the wrong way. Yep. Yes, we know that, Jay. Unfortunately, Kansas City has the tiebreaker. Hey, good morning, Cap for Life. Big fins up to you. And guys, speaking of fins up, if you get a chance, throw a thumbs up, but I call it the fins up. So anyway, Steve, I know, let's get the bad out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Jaelan Phillips injury. Who
Mm-hmm.
in your mind has to step up in his replacement among Van Ginkel and Ogba? Who are you looking in those two names to step it up and start
Oh,
playing
oh,
well on the edge?
definitely Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel is probably going to get the vast majority of the snaps on the edge, um, along with Bradley Chubb for sure. Ogba's going to be thrown in there,
He actually had one and a
in
half sacks.
spots. Yeah,
I know
yeah,
some
but
of it's garbage time, but he had one and a half
again,
sacks.
let's put things in perspective. We were playing against a crummy offense. Nonetheless, our defense did what they had to do. They had 7 sacks, I believe it was, and they kept that offense in check. So they did what they had to do. I'm happy with our defense. They had a bad offense, but hey, our defense was still played. I'll call it. They played Super Bowl caliber defense.
No, they did. I mean,
So
basically, like I said, they shut them out completely. They
shut them
got their
out.
garbage time touchdown when we were
Yeah,
giving them those short yardage plays.
yeah.
So their touchdown that they earned on offense, take it because it's in the
Hmm.
NFL. You got yourself a touchdown. But
Yeah.
we were basically just give them those plays at that point in the game to drive down the field. I mean, they
Hmm.
shut them down. I mean, it was just completely the only ball that they threw that was over 10 air yards was that Hail Mary that it turned out to be in
Yeah,
our favor. So
yeah.
it was just like a crazy day, man. Hey, RL, welcome back. Haven't seen you for a while. Big thumbs up to you and Dolphin Don, as always. Big fins up too. The good thing is we are 8-3. The bad thing is that Jaelan Phillips got hurt. Like Scotty says, it's going to take both Agba and Van Ginkel to replace what Phillips
Yeah,
is doing.
for
He's really
sure.
coming to his own. Last week, he had a couple of sacks and an interception, was already stepping up yesterday in a big way. I hate that turf, but that's for a whole other show conversation. But that turf is just, it needs to go, man. It needs to go because too many players get hurt on that turf, man. It's just,
Hmm.
I know they get hurt on grass too, and people have done studies saying, well, really, no one's, but to me, that turf is just nasty. It's just, they shouldn't be on that. I like how Moser called it out, Javon Holland called it out. So, saying it's just a nasty turf. And you can think that it got 2 NFL teams playing their home games on that nasty turf. So
Yeah,
it
it's
means like
crazy.
a lot of NFL games are on that turf every week because the NFL had decided to have 2 teams in that same stadium. Back It Up Ben's podcast. Go check his channel out, guys. Good stuff he puts up there. No, it will be definitely a rotation. You can't replace Phillips, Steve. It's
Yeah,
true. He had
yeah.
gotten to that status where he's been earning big money coming in the near future for him. And it just stinks because this kid overcame a lot. He gave up football for a while after leaving UCLA, ended up transferring to University of Miami, got back in the football world's eyes, got drafted in the first round by our Miami Dolphins. And then for that to happen, because this kid, I mean, he looked like a superhero coming after that injury, So I'm sure he's going to get this procedure done right away, like Aaron Rodgers did within he did it quick. So I'm sure Phillips will get it quick, but he may miss him in some of the beginning of next year. It's just one of those injuries that you don't know
Hmm.
with the so it is devastating. Did definitely put, and yes, that's my dog in the background crying a little bit, but it is that was a downer, but we'll get back to the good down. I just wanted to get rid of that. Oh, let's get also, Steve, let's talk about the two interceptions. The one pick six to me was really just inexcusable. The last interception, time's running out. You could blame that on the coaching. They should have just ate it. They weren't going to get much done there. Just run the ball, get out. But it turned out that last interception led to the failed Hail Mary. So in a weird way in the universe, it benefited us. But there was two interceptions. What are your thoughts? We're getting rid of the bad out of the way here.
Yeah,
On your,
yeah.
on,
Tua's been playing really well this year. And Mike McDaniel has just turned this offense into a really good system for our quarterback, for our running backs, and for our O-line. I believe I know a lot of folks want to give credit to Butch Berry, and yeah, okay, we'll give him a little credit, but I want to give more credit to Mike McDaniel because he deserves all the credit devising this scheme for this team, and that's who I give the credit to as far as that goes. Now, as far as the interceptions go, yes, Tua Tagovailoa is going to have to clean that up, and let's not forget he has 10 fumbles as well. 10 fumbles. So he needs to clean that up, especially going into December and playing against. We may not be concerned about Washington. We may not be concerned about the Jets again. We may not be concerned about Tennessee Titans, but we need to be concerned going in, to December and playing Dallas, Baltimore, and who's the other team? Buffalo, and we got to play Buffalo again at the last of the year. So
hopefully
those are
those
are the teams I'm concerned with.
Yeah.
Making the mistakes, the turnovers and things like that. He needs to clean that up. This actually has carried over from him from last year. Last year, he, of course, you don't count dropped interceptions, but he threw a bunch of passes that could have been intercepted. And, and they weren't. So we got to be thankful for that. Now, this year, he's throwing the ball more. He is throwing the ball more this year. So he needs to be more careful. And I think McDaniel has finally, the light bulb has gone off. And he finally said, you know what? In order for me to protect my quarterback, whether it be through injury, because he hasn't been injured this year too. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
In order to protect my quarterback and to help my quarterback out, I'm going to pound the rock, and that's what they did.
Yeah. Well, he did it on a 3rd and short finally yesterday, and everyone cheered in our group chat. Everyone finally, hallelujah. He ran on a short yardage play, and we got it. And I know some of it from what they see or what they think. They go into analytics and they do all of that stuff, but sometimes you just need to punch that ball right up in there, and they did it yesterday. Yes. Wilson and Moser end up having good game. I know the one long run at the end kind of buffed up Raheem Mosert's stats. He got 94 yards and averaged 4.7 yards a carry,
which is good.
Wilson had averaged 5 yards, a little over 5 yards a carry on 11 carries. So. So overall they end up having it. So, but like you say, some of them just runs hardly to anywhere, but you just keep on pounding it, and eventually Mosert's going to break one, and he did.
Yeah.
I love how Mosert took a little time getting into the end zone. That was great.
Yeah, even it's more importantly now coming up here in December, to pound that rock. That's why I'm so happy that Mike McDaniel said, man, we need to pound that rock. And that's what they did. Even though they weren't in the beginning, if you recall, they weren't making big yards, big chunk yards. They were getting 1, they were getting 2, they were losing, they were getting 3, they were getting 4, getting 2. And then eventually they just wore that defense down and they were able to get chunk yards. So that was smart on McDaniel's part, adjusting to what the New York Jets defense was giving him.
Right. And like I say, I know New York Jets defense didn't look that great against the Bills last week, whatever, but they still are a very good defensive unit.
Absolutely.
The Dolphins basically, aside from the 3 turnovers, the Dolphins basically had their way with them. They controlled the ball, they were able to run, they were able to pass. got to clean up the end. I know we're going to pound the table on cleaning up the turnovers. But other than those, the Dolphins basically they were in control of that game the whole way.
Oh
It was
yeah.
a you go on the road, you beat. Yes, I'm with you, Steve. The Jets are not a good football team, so we still haven't beaten a good football team from what people love to label as us. So I get that. But when you go on the road, first ever Black Friday game, going up to New York,
It's
playing the
tough.
division rival on their turf, where they have nothing to lose because they're already on a 3-game losing streak. You went up there, you put out the noise of Hard Knocks being there all week. Hard Knocks is going to probably stink watching this week because they're going to talk about the
Uh,
Phillips injury and you're going to see how
yeah.
down the team is. And
Yeah.
it's going to, I'm sure the producers at HBO likes that junk because it's like, oh, people are going to watch because they want to see how the team reacts to Phillips injuries and all that drama. But, it just stinks on that front. But we did all of that. We have a very good chance to sweep the Jets. We already swept the Patriots,
Hmm.
and you can take one of two against the Bills. You tell me that, man, that's a great division record. So that's
Yeah.
all within our control, all very. I'm hoping by time the Buffalo game comes, it almost means nothing to us. That'd be great. I mean, like the big decision
Absolutely.
would be whether to rest starters and stuff like that. And I was screaming yesterday, Steve, at the TV a couple times, like when I still saw Ramsey in the game when we were winning by something.
Yeah.
Like, get Ramsey. We already see all these guys
I
get hurt.
know.
And sure enough, Javon Holland ends up getting hurt after I was saying, why are the starters
Yeah.
still in there? So, but it's just how it goes.
Yeah. No, I
Hey,
agree.
Master Sergeant, thank you for your service. Hate losing Phillips. Hope they are able to compensate for his energy and effectiveness. Hey, sometimes injuries too. Yes, Jay, and he's injured again. I know Armstead is injured again. I don't know what his status is. Yep, we got the Commanders next on the docket. Hate losing Phillips, he said. Yes, but we did talk about we got Ogbah and Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel's he
Yeah.
plays with a lot of energy too, so we should be fine on the energy department. But are we going to be as productive as Phillips? Probably not. That's the only thing that put a damper on this game, like I said. So it just overall good. Jason Sanders, a popular
Oh
or
yeah. Yeah.
unpopular topic among Dolphin fans, depending who you ask.
That's
Evan's
right.
not in here this morning, but Jason Sanders, last week, he missed his first 50-plus yard attempt that they gave him.
Hmm.
Came back, hit a shorter field goal, came back later, hit a 51-yarder. Yesterday, he hit a short field goal, came in for a 54-yarder on the road in cooler weather, nailed it. Yes, it was not the prettiest kick, a kind of line, whatever you want to say, but it traveled 50 yards, 54 yards right through the uprights down the middle. So Jason Sanders deserves a little kudos from the Miami Dolphins fans this week because they were on him hard last week. He bounces back, makes both of his field goal attempt, made all of his extra points, which is expected, of course, but did his job. And I'd love to see that. I think that's going to add confidence to him moving forward, Steve, that he can kick 50-yarders again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great for his psyche. And I'm glad McDaniel trusted him. Put the trust in him and said, just go out there. Do your thing, and he did. So he came through. So I
Yeah,
can't I can't
yeah.
complain too much about Sanders. So I think he'll be fine going forward. I really do.
No, I do. And yes, please nail that. Just like Sanders nailed that 54-yarder, nailed that like button. Good lead in. That's why I back it up in his podcast. That's a good. He knows to do lead ins. He's listened to Joe Rose once or twice. So, oh man, Dolphin Don was good to get the monkey off our back. Yes, I agree, man. And the beautiful thing is that I just mentioned it kind of when I got on a ramble there, but we
Hmm.
are definitely in control in the AFC East
Yep.
without a doubt. Hopefully, Philadelphia already has a loss. We don't have to worry about them being perfect. Can't believe it's the New York Jets that's given the Eagles their only loss on the season. Can't write that stuff up. But see, the Eagles couldn't overcome their turnovers against them because the Eagles just turned the ball over a whole bunch against the Jets. So it shows that maybe we can compete against the best because we were able to overcome our turnovers against the Jets and come away with a pretty easy victory. So we will see. Say the Bills win. We're still 2 games ahead in the loss
Yeah.
column. I don't see them winning. I see the Eagles probably winning that game, but the Eagles are coming off their big victory on Monday night against Kansas City. Do they come out a little flat, or do they know that Buffalo's a really good football team and don't just look at their record, know from their recent past that they are a good football team and come out all out to beat them? If all goes according to plan, the Eagles should win that game and maybe 3 games up in the loss column. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Shake Money, big fins up to you, Shake Money. Check him out on the Fins tailgate and all those other. I know I always give the wrong Larry, so but check out him on the Larry dude. But anyway, Cap Life gives you. Let's see. Tua had his worst passer rating of the year at 77.5. That said, Tua did better than Mahomes, 63.6.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts 59.5 and Herbert 65.4 against the Jets. Yes, the Jets secondary is real, and I did point that out. Mahomes threw 2 interceptions against the Chiefs. Hurts and also Hurts threw 3 interceptions. I mean, against the Jets. I'm sorry, Mahomes threw 2 against the Jets. Hurts threw 3, and I don't know exactly Herbert, but Josh Allen had a horrible game the first game. He
Yeah,
came
he
back
did.
revenge game against them, but he also threw 3 interceptions in that first game. So yes, he is. They're legit. They're a really good defense. That's why I can overlook yesterday's. But the one thing that we've said, and I know it makes some of the Tua nears, Tua lovers that don't see like reality. I'm talking about this. His out passes aren't the strongest. He doesn't have he's very good throwing. His arm looks so much stronger throwing up the middle, but for
Yeah.
whatever reason, when it goes to the side, it just doesn't have that zip sometimes to get there quick.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday that showed, and that could just be because he doesn't step into it as much as he can. So to me, but you have to throw to the side because he did throw one play to Waddle. I don't know
Jalen
how
Waddle.
he got the ball in there.
Yeah.
That he just I was saying, what's he doing? But somehow it got through like 3
Yeah.
jets and right into Waddle while Tua's
Right.
see, and that he made plays on his feet. He did break outside his
Yep.
own play. So he did create his own play on that play. I don't know if you know what play I'm talking about. He
Yeah, I
kind of
know what
rolled
play you're
out
talking about. Yep.
get to
And
Waddle. So that was
yep.
a beautiful pass.
Mm-hmm. And he threw a
Yeah.
nice pass to Waddle when he was playing when he beat Sauce Gardner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful
That was
too.
a nice pass too. Yeah, for sure.
I like that. Hey, thank you, man. Waddle on that like button. You guys are great leading, man. And Dolphins 24/7. Do you have a show, Dolphins 24/7? If Colin, if so, I gotta go check you out. But let's see. Yes, we already covered that. We gave a big shout out to Jason Sanders. We were like,
Mm-hmm.
he was very good to a thread the needle. Yeah, he did on that throw. That
Yeah,
was
he
great.
did. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a really
that
great,
was a
good
beautiful
pass.
throw.
Yes,
Even the pass that Tyreek Hill had in his hands for that was a beautiful pass for the touchdown. That it would have been a hard catch. It's over his shoulder with Sauce Gardner basically pulling on his sleeve. But you know what one I'm talking about, Steve?
Which one?
The touchdown Hill dropped one that could have been a touchdown pass.
Yes.
So
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, I remember
but
that.
Waddle did have good. Waddle. Sauce Gardner did have good coverage on him. If you say grabbing his sleeve is a good coverage, I
Yeah.
see it the first 5 games. The offense looked out. The last one, the defense looked up. It's kind of a good balance. You think about it. No, it is. It is right now a good balance. I think my mom must be here or something because my dog is barking at the door. So, but Scotty also. What did Scotty say? Okay, hold on, guys. Sorry. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah,
Steve,
no
talk while I'm
problem.
gone.
Sure, no problem.
So I'm back. My wife's getting the door. My mom
Okay.
just got here. My dog loves my mom when she visits on Saturdays. So, but anyway, I'm sorry, Steve. What were we even talking about? I got distracted.
Honestly, I forgot, but I will say this. I want to welcome everybody that's in the chat right now. Appreciate y'all for joining. Um, and don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And Rob, I didn't know if you wanted to bring up a little bit about Fanatics and Blackout Coffee.
Oh yes, guys, I'm affiliate partners with Fanatics. If you clicked on the link through my websites or the description in here, it helps the site. You pay no more. This is what they call affiliate, little commission, a little thread of the profit. Same with the Blackout Coffee on there, and you can use the discount code Thirsty. Thank you, Steve. So back to I want to get back to Waddle
All right.
and Hill.
Mm-hmm.
He at least started spreading the ball around a little more between the
Yes.
two. He always spreads the ball, dumping it off to other people.
Right.
But yesterday, Waddle and Hill both got over 100 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good to see Waddle get into the action a little bit more. I like that a lot. It's going to open up things for us. The running game started pounding that rock. That was a beautiful thing. So we are getting a little more diversified on offense. Of course, Craycraft is back. He just hasn't gotten much action, but Craycraft is back. So, let's see what Steve's take on this. Are you willing to give Bushbury any love yet? I know a few weeks ago you weren't willing yet, but
Me,
something that
I'm not ready to give him all the credit, but I'm sure he and Mike McDaniel are working together closely on this scheme that Mike McDaniel has devised, and he's following through and putting it together with the offensive line. So yeah, he gets a little credit, but for me, Mike McDaniel, we don't give Mike McDaniel enough credit on his play calling and also on his developing and designing the scheme for this offense.
No, I agree on that. He's done well on that. I know sometimes we pick on him about some of his third and short yardage
Mhm.
situations and overall, but I don't think this team is where we are right now without him as the coach.
Absolutely.
Not saying Tua and all these guys can't play well, but they are looking a lot better because of him. And it shows. I mean, it shows that it happens. Some
Mhm.
quarterbacks are going to be superstars no matter what. Some needs a little bit better coaching schemes to fit them their style of play. Someone that understands offensive football because Tua got thrown into a defensive minded coach his first couple years.
Yeah.
He was more concerned about the defense than going out and getting him offensive weapons and doing moves like that. So with that said, McDaniel comes in here and he says, okay, what can Tua do well? He's created that. Now we're getting the running game like, better. We're never going to be the running game that some fans want. Like we're like the 1972 Dolphins pounding the ball like Larry Zonka, Jim Kick, and all those guys, Mercury Morris. But we can, Steve, make it a more balanced attack. So,
Yeah.
and that's what
Yeah.
I think we did yesterday. We had pretty good rushing stats yesterday.
We did, and I like this comment here by Hookup Joe. He says our scheme and quick time to pass is making our O line look better than they are. That is good. It is good, and we don't need super O line talent to still have success. And I agree. And I think next year, I would not be unhappy if we come back with the same folks that we have playing this year. At this point, now we'll see later on down the line. But at this point, I would not be unhappy at all if they
Yep.
continue with this the good cohesion that this O line has and the
No,
scheme.
I agree. And keep Lamb, get him under whatever they need to
Yeah.
keep Lamb because
Yep.
that Armstead is going to miss time no matter what. So it's good
Absolutely.
to have a Lamb on the team, and not be on the Lamb like a crook, but have a
Hmm.
Lamb on the team and have him ready to step up because last year when Armstead was out, it was just like a free turnstile out there almost. Till we got Lamb into action and he's brought stability to the line because you're
Hmm.
not just like, oh my God, Armstead is out. Yesterday, I was getting a little worried because Austin Jackson got tossed.
Hmm.
Um, Cotton was in the tent. Armstead was out. I was like, oh my goodness, who are they going to bring? Are you going to bring some guy from the stands down and start playing? Put one of the trainers out there playing on there. I'm like, geez. I was starting to go through my numbers on my fingers, like, oh my God, we're running out of bodies all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'll have to see who finally got all the snap counts and stuff, but we managed.
Mhm.
to get out of there with the big W, and that's the
Yeah,
big thing.
absolutely. And again, I like the way McDaniel adjusted and said, "Hey, I'm just going to take what the Jets are giving us," and that's what he did. He ran the ball, pounded the ball, and threw the ball when he had to. And I think that Jalen Waddle, I think the emergence of Jalen Waddle was because I believe he's 100% healthy. I think he's
Yeah.
100% healthy, and I think he's going to have 9 days to heal up again. All of our players, so that's a good thing. Some of these players that are banged up and hurt are going to have a little more rest this week.
No, 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 for sure. And I did throw that up there. I think that way too, Scotty. But then I think about the Texans. It looks like they've hit a home run and they hired a defensive-minded coach. So there are exceptions to the rule. But I do agree that in today's NFL, an offensive-minded coach is probably better as a overall a head coach because of the emphasis on the offense and how the league has set
Mm-hmm.
up the rules. But this guy's probably going to be coach of the year, and he's a defensive-minded coach. And so we will see, so we will see on that one. But I
Yeah.
agree overall. But yeah, he agrees. Like I said, I agree with him, but I did bring up the one example. This guy seems to be coaching those run, but he could be coaching those Texans up, kind of like the ball coached up the Giants last year, and it's like came out, and then we'll see if he can keep that stability next year because the ball was like coach of the year last year, which DeMarco Ryan's he's going to be probably the coach of the year this year for sure because he got that Texans team playing well. But yeah, I agree. I don't know if it's just from the philosophy, the mindset. They're more open thinkers, maybe about. So I think overall, I would want an offensive-minded coach moving forward. Same with you, Steve. In today's NFL,
In today's NFL, yeah, you either have to have an offensive minded coach or you have to have a hell of an offensive coordinator.
yeah.
You
No,
know,
that's for sure. And then if you have a hell of an offensive coordinator, he's going to get picked up and hired by an NFL team. And
yeah,
that's the problem. So
yeah,
that's why it's good to have that offensive coordinator be
yeah,
your head coach so some team can't poach him right off your
yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I don't know if anyone will poach Frank Smith unless, like they do what the Dolphins do. Oh, maybe he got rubbed off on and he knows something, because we've hired guys that, I mean, McDaniel wasn't a play caller. We hired people. We got Philbin just because he was on the Packers. He wasn't even a play caller, and we hired him as a head coach. So there are exceptions to the rules, or maybe someone would come hire a Frank Smith, but I don't think anyone's going to pluck our staff too bad. Now, maybe someone would give Wes Welker a promotion or it's Sam Madison, but I don't think our staff should be plucked because you got an older Vic Fangio at defense. So we should be pretty good set up there.
yeah,
Make that team give compensation. Let's see. Cut Norm said post June one, the best case minus unlikely was saved per over the cap. But I think there'd be a huge dead money cap actually. Maybe Scotty knows a little better. He's good at that, Joe. I admit I would refer to Scotty, but there is a lot of dead money on that, I think, from Barry Jackson, what I remember.
yeah. I think Rob. I think we're gonna. I think Armstead will be playing with us again next year,
Yeah.
and
And then maybe
maybe.
Kyler is like you can't really move on until like till 2026.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. That's what I
Yeah,
heard too.
so we're kind of stuck. But
Yeah,
can they make just it is what it is. But if you can save money on the cap, they may do it, even though they got the dead money. We know one thing, Steve, we didn't even talk about is that reports of Ross maybe selling a partial minority
yeah,
ownership in the
yeah,
team.
yeah. I
So I
heard
wonder if
about
that
that.
guy would be the next owner eventually because he's a little bit younger. I wonder if he would
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's still going to be Ross's. I believe his daughter.
daughter. Okay.
But I think he's still going to be. He'll probably be a minority owner. Um, but he's doing it for a reason, right? So I don't think the reasoning behind it is for him to take over.
Yeah, he wants
Uh,
to invest.
he
Yeah.
just wants to, yeah, invest. The team is worth a lot of freaking money.
Oh
I mean,
no, he paid
right
around
now.
$1 billion for it,
Yeah, and
give or
it's
take a few dollars, and now it's worth like 3 or 4 billion
Might
probably.
even be
So
more than that. Might even be
yeah,
more than
I
that.
know. Yeah.
So
What do the Commanders finally sell for?
I don't know what they sold for.
I know. So I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to say. So, but it's in the billings. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
they're replaying the game on there, man. Replay the game. So guys, if you want to watch it replay, it's on the NFL Network. But watch us too at the same time.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that was weird. I didn't know that was by Andy Slater, Scoops Slater, he calls himself. He said that Ross was thinking of selling a partial, but he wants to buy more sporting teams and he wants to do
Hmm.
different things. So who knows on that front what he really wants to do and what ventures he has in mind. But why not cash in a little bit? He could probably get as much from the stake that he sold, a little bit that what he paid for the team, get all of his money recouped there, and then still have the majority.
He has so much money.
They are
Probably.
6.05 billion for the Commanders is what they sold
Oh, is that
for.
what they
So
sold it for?
and what a
Wow.
return on Ross's dollar, man. So hey, and at the
Mm-hmm.
time he was one of the first that paid like $1 billion for a franchise, and they joked,
Mm-hmm.
"What's he doing buying the Dolphins for him?" And here he is, flip that sucker around and probably get that much in the partial sale, and then recoup all the money.
You
Well
know
he
what? Do you know?
yeah
Do you know that Stephen Ross, the Miami Dolphins were having a hard time keeping up with the maintenance of the turf. They're having problems with it because
yes
they were
yeah
getting
I know
they
where
were
you're
getting
going with
yeah, they
this.
were getting backlogged, when they'd order turf and stuff. So Ross said, I ain't having this anymore. So he went on ahead and bought the turf company.
Yeah, hey, Dolphins are going to extend. Yeah, I know. That's it.
Uh,
Yeah,
that's funny. So I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not waiting in line. I'm just going to buy your company.
yeah. I know. I love it too, man. I wish I had that. He probably
Yeah.
had that much money in his seat cushions on his private jet.
Oh
So
yeah.
he's probably like, oh, I can buy this company. When they say, oh, well, it's going to cost you a few million. He goes, oh, a few million. Let me move out. I think I stuck a few million in the seat cushions here last week.
Yeah.
So, so it's like,
Let me
that's
dig
nothing.
for my change.
Yeah, I
I
know.
should be able
But
to
the
buy
funny
it.
thing is, the guy that's buying the minority stake is
Hmm.
actually a lot wealthier than Stephen
Oh
Ross.
yeah, he's like worth 34 million billion. I mean, something
Billion.
like that.
Yeah.
34
It's
billion.
crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying him there. They did say in practice, he is on record saying he prefers to stay at tackle, but that he
Yeah.
would do anything for the team. And so they have played him some at guard. So we will see. I kind of don't want that unless we get into the playoffs and he's your best option because I don't want him being out there and he gets banged up and then Armstead does what happens and then we're really screwed. That's my only concern. I know you can't play scared, but to me, I would be a little worried playing Lamb and Armstead at the same time because if he gets hurt, then we're really screwed.
Yeah, let me give some love to Liam Eichenberg. I've been pretty hard on him this year, and he
Yeah.
had a decent game yesterday. Now, of course, I believe he's still our weak link as far as if you want to call it our offensive line, if there's ever a weak link. But I got to give him his kudos, man. He's been playing pretty well, and he's been taking on the task of playing kind of musical chairs on that offensive line. He played
Yeah, he's played
center.
every position
He's
for
played
us
every
along the line.
position. Yeah. So you got to give him kudos for that.
No, I give him kudos for that, and we'll see how he did this week. I mean, I want Hunt back. Did they finally, when they shuffled all those people, did Hunt finally get in there yesterday when we were losing people left and right, or do you know?
I
I
don't
didn't see.
know. I didn't
I
see
didn't.
him.
It's hard to tell the offensive line
Yeah,
sometimes, but
I didn't see him. Maybe
when
some
they,
folks in the chat might have
I would
an
like to
answer
know.
there. I don't. I didn't see him.
The Parcel is also part of the stadium in the F1. Okay, so it's all, I guess, all in there. So
Oh,
that makes
right. It
yeah.
is part of the F1 as well. Yeah, I
So
remember
yeah, that's
hearing that.
all part of the business. So it's all, I guess, under his
Mm-hmm.
related and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But so Lamb, Cotton, Connor, Ike, Smith. All right. So they never did. So Kindrens, however, K. Smith, he So that's it. They were able to avoid. But man, hopefully don't. We got like someone pointed out here, like a little mini bye week, because now
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Justin. All good, man. Big. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. To all you guys, by the way, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I know you enjoyed the Black Friday victory, so I don't have to say that. Moving forward, do you think Black Friday is going to be I guess it's going to be an annual thing, Steve? There would be a game every year now on Black Friday.
Um, I don't really like it.
Why is
I
that?
I just don't. I'd rather just keep the traditional, Sunday games and Monday and Thursday.
I know, but they've always had Thanksgiving Day for a
Yeah,
long, long time.
Thanksgiving Day as well. But I'm not too keen on the Black Friday game.
I kind of liked it, but I may be biased because we won. I kind
Yeah,
of liked it because it's not Thanksgiving. We were the only team playing yesterday.
right.
I don't like the short rest for the players. I agree. That's the one
Hmm.
thing I don't like.
Yeah.
NFL is a tough sport already, and then have to play on short turnaround. But at least we had the one extra day. But I do believe it becomes an annual thing just because
Yeah, it probably will.
it's
It
a
probably will,
money
but I'm
maker.
not crazy. I'm not
Yeah.
crazy about it.
Yeah, so yeah, Amazon has a 10-year deal. They aren't going to give up that game. Money talks, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
know.
sure.
No,
For
you're
sure.
right for sure on that. I wonder if they do. They will probably rotate it though. They're not going to go the Thanksgiving route where it's always the Cowboys and the Lions giving us on that. So we will see on that front eventually. And that's where I stand on that. Like I think it's going to be around. It was kind of I guess if it had to be around this year, it was good that the Dolphins got to play. Sucks that Phillips got hurt. Had nothing to do with the short turnaround, more than to do with
No.
that turf, if anything. It's just
Hmm.
no one even hit him on the play. Just, just a weird. This stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. Justin Phillips was just getting rolling, man. Was just getting going. Oh yeah, I know. Who cares about shopping, man? I'd much rather watch football than going shopping. That's for sure. Especially nowadays, where everyone buys stuff online. I don't even think the store's as busy on the Black Fridays as it used to be. But it was cool, man, watching our team play first time ever Black Friday. That'd be a trivia question on Dolphins Thirsty one day in the future. Like, who did the Dolphins play in the first ever Black Friday game? And I'll throw all kinds of answers out there. And Javon Holland somehow have to find a way. His interception ranks up there, not longest in Dolphins history, but ranks up there. And why do I bring up records? It's because Mozart is on his. Let's see. First, before I get to that, the only reason he dressed is that we went 8 all players to have 48 players on the field, so he was a free player to be active. If not, he was not there. We had 7, and hence only 47 active. Thank you, Joe, for all of that.
Hmm.
411. So yes, I dropped the old 411 again. But Mozart, I wanted to cover this. He is on the cusp of breaking several records for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
The overall touchdown record for the Miami Dolphins also happens to be the reception record for the Miami Dolphins. Mark Clayton in
Hmm.
1984 got 18 touchdowns,
Yep.
and it's crazy that Mozart's on the pace that he has. But he can also break Ricky Williams' rushing touchdown record too, which is 16
16.
touchdowns
Yeah.
for a single season. So we'll see. I'm going to tell you right where Moser is right now. It's crazy though, man. The touchdowns that he's putting up this year, it's great, man. I can't believe he has 13 touchdowns this year between the combination of receiving and rushing. So I think he's going to shred some of these records. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will.
It's kind of cool though because some people he doesn't get a lot of love, but hey, that's an impressive as far as touchdowns and
Hmm.
stuff.
In fact, he might even do it in the next 3 games.
I know he could, man. It's
He
crazy
could.
the number
Yeah.
he's putting up at the rate
Yeah.
he's putting them up. So let's see. I'm trying to find where we're scoring here for him. Trying to find his scoring, but yeah. Anyway, I can't find the stat I wanted to see. But yeah, 13 touchdowns is just insane in there,
Yeah.
and then he has 2 receiving touchdowns. Oh, okay, yeah. So he has. Okay, I give you a wrong. He already has 15 combined touchdowns. So yeah, he's going to
Oh,
definitely.
wow.
Yeah, he already has. So
Yeah.
I know, sir, but I Justin. Get out of here, Justin. He always. I only care about winning a ring too. But and you know I like my history of the Miami Dolphins, Justin. But hence I'm getting an AJ Dewey jersey. So let's see. I absolutely love Ricky, but I am all aboard the Mozart TD train. Me too, Scotty. I love it a lot, and it's fun to watch. Like all you guys, Steve, the only record that matters is the win column at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it is fun watching some records because I grew up in the Mark Clayton and the Dan Marino and all those eras and Mark Duper tossing the ball, breaking all kinds of offensive records. So it's just my historian in me that loves some of those little records. So
No, I'm with digging in the trenches. I agree. The only thing that matters to me is
you
that
know I
they
tease you,
they
Justin.
they they win the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl and get that ring. That's my only goal. But if we can have fun along the way and break some records, that's fine. I do look at the stats and things. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Steve, Justin's bringing up names. I know, yeah, stats are just kind of fun. Like I said, I would like to see Quentin Bell can do. So Justin knows like all these rosters like the back of his hand. I don't know how he has it in his brain. So let's see. Yep, records are made to be broken except 72. Yes, and you cannot break the 1972 record. You can match it. And some people say, well, they broke it because they had to win more games in the new schedule. To me, no, there's no, because the Dolphins did what they had to do. Whoever, if anyone ever runs the table, which I don't think will happen in this 17 game season, because look at the Eagles, as dominant as they've been, they went and they lost to the New York Jets. So I can't believe, Steve, you got to see those days.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fun, man. So
yeah, it
our
was.
team surpassed the Jet tees in ranking after yesterday's game. We were one behind them. Wow. Okay, man. We're all praising the Jets tees. Good stat for Hooked Up Joe. So we're actually going to be ranked a little bit ahead of the Jets tee now, Steve.
Yep, yeah, I remember. We read the stats off. I think it was
Yeah.
remember last week on Real Talk Fins Talk, and yeah, we were 12th, I believe, and they were 13th, or we were 11th. I mean, they were 11th and we were 12th. One of those, but
Yeah.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Hey, overall, before we wrap up here, Steve, it
Hmm.
was a dominant victory against an AFC East opponent. That's all you need, man. Just a dominant victory. Keep like you. I want us to beat a good team too. Like you could get to the playoffs without ever having beaten a good team, and then you beat them in the playoffs is all that matters too. So you still got
Yeah,
plenty of time to prove that you can beat a good team. Right now on the schedule, we can't prove it in the next game. We can't prove we can beat a good team against the Commanders. We can't prove we can beat a good team against the Jets and the Titans. So we can't count on that until we get there. Hello, Mr. Stubbs. Better late than never. We're about to wrap up, but yes, big fins up to everyone. And yes, it was sad losing JP. Yes, we talked about all of that. So Steve, like you topped off on the show. You want us to beat a good team, but we don't
yeah,
we don't even get a chance to play a good team for another few weeks. So we just got to
yeah,
keep on taking care of business. You don't want to all of a sudden suffer, and we could easily go lose a game to the Commanders if we lose focus, or to the Titan. I don't see us losing to the Jets after watching the Jets yesterday play. I don't see how they're going to come into Miami and beat us. Because I'm always telling you, it's always the NFL. You never know, but I don't know. Hey, some of you guys in here, if you're college football fans, who you guys got today in the big rivalry game against Ohio State and Michigan? Florida State probably will beat Florida, but you got a whole bunch of big games out there. Steve, I know you're not a big college guy, but I was just curious on some of the takes on those guys.
mhm,
Yes, we definitely want the Eagles to win tomorrow. That's for sure. I don't say it too often, but we want the Eagles to win tomorrow because that would really put us in the driver's seat, Steve. If we
yeah,
get three
for
games
sure,
ahead in the loss column.
for sure. Yep.
Yep, that's a fact. Greatest show on turf didn't beat any winning team in the regular season, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. So I mean, they may be the exception to the rule, but I love exceptions. Ray Finkel says Buckeyes. Yep, enjoy this all. Yep, no football to worry about tomorrow other than watching some of and the Jets have already played, so we don't even get to root against them tomorrow. So some people say Michigan to make it again. That should be a good game, though, again. DK knows and supported JP more than me, and I'm just saying I'm going to drill now. JP going to get back strong. 15 for 15 next year. Hey, he is starting to. I don't think he would have got to the 15 this year, but man, the man was balling out, and you would
He
never
was.
know.
He was.
He
He was
would.
trending up for
It is
sure.
definitely sad losing him. So, let's see real quick. Where was he at sack wise, Scotty, this year? Was he like 6.5, something like that? Or I don't know. Do you know, Steve, where Jaelan Phillips
Not
was
right
sacks
offhand.
wise?
Not right offhand. I can look it
Yeah,
up.
I didn't think so. Oh, he was 6.5. That's what I thought. He
Six and a
was
half.
6.5.
Okay.
He was at 6.5. There you go. That's what I thought. So that's not, he was, that was, I don't think he would have got to 15, but he could have definitely got to double digits. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know, Scotty, you were definitely the 15 for 15 year all Eagles. Yep. Let's see. They have the Bills beat the. Yep, didn't have the Bills beat the Chiefs. Yes, I know. That would be the best scenario. Like there, that will be the best scenario because by that point, for 3 games up over the Bills in the division loss column, and 3 games up at that point in the standings, that would be great. Then you would definitely root for the Bills to beat Kansas City. So that'd be a weird world, a weird feeling. But I guess you couldn't lose either way. If Kansas City won, it's another loss for Buffalo, and either way, you come out ahead in that game. I guess you could look
Yep.
at it that way. I'm just happy though, Steve. We will do a show on the Finns Talk Sports Network on Tuesday night. I don't know what we're going to talk about by that point because we would just talk about the upcoming Commanders game, I guess, or
Yep.
anyone that happens to come or sign or update on injuries. I would do a show Monday morning on here just to do my normal 10 a.m. Monday morning show. But by then, man, this game's going to be all talked out, man. Playing on a Friday. I guess we can talk about what happens in the Buffalo game and all of that, where we stand in the division.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we have figured something out. It's always fun talking to you, Steve. I enjoy it. And I
Thank you.
appreciate more importantly, all you guys that come in here and, they come in here and give us the big thumbs up and the subscriptions. You guys are the best because you're really all team members. So in the future, though, man, Steve, it's looking bright. I know next year when you go way into the future, people are going to worry about the salary cap. But right now, we're sitting there, just the AFC in our grasp, the AFC East in our grasp. And the AFC is up for control. The Ravens are good, but they've proved they can be beaten, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But there's a lot of tough. The Browns are a tough team. The
Yeah.
Chiefs are still the Chiefs until someone knocks them off. And we had our chance to beat them in the regular season and take really control of the AFC picture. We blew it over in Germany. But overall, this team is starting to, I think, trending the right way. Oblique the turnovers, minus the turnovers. We've done 6 turnovers in the last 2 games. That's way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. But we've talked about that. Clean that up, and we could be a dominant team. There's no reason that we shouldn't be able to go up to beat the Commanders in Washington. There's no reason at all. And hey, Urban, fins up 8-3, and we're feeling good. I agree, Irving. And if
Absolutely.
you
I
just add
agree.
in your boom, 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 that button for me. But yeah, no, I mean, you can't complain. And guys, I'm going to wrap up the show. But Steve, thank you for taking some time out of your
Absolutely.
Saturday to join the show here. Go enjoy the rest of your Saturday over there in Houston, Texas. Are you going to do anything today? Are you going to be with the grandchildren and all that good stuff?
Well, today I have I'm going to put up my Christmas lights and I need to mow the lawn.
I got the Christmas lights up the day before Thanksgiving this year, a
Yeah.
little reverse because I had family coming over for Thanksgiving, so I wanted a little bit
Mm-hmm.
some decorations. Hey, Canes Dolphins, big fins up. Thank you for coming in. We're about to wrap up. If you want to go start the beginning of the show, thank you. If not, just do nail that like button. Thank you so much for coming in. Hey, we had a good turnout today, Steve. So I'm proud of all of them coming in, spending a little part of your Saturday. I won't even name all you. You know who you are. You make this show special, makes it lots of fun, and I love it. Steve, our Dolphins are in first place.
Yep.
Basically, that's it. That's how we have to look at it. Could we pick on some stuff? Of course. But overall, we should be happy with where we stand. If you would have told me that we were 8-3 again and up where we are in the division, I would have taken that any day of the week. So I would have maybe liked to beat one of the winning teams, but at the end of the day, 8-3 is 8-3, and it is what it is. So, Steve, if that is any final thought you want before I go find our closeout video?
No, you said it. You summed it up. We're in control of our own destiny right now, and we're sitting up on top of the division at number 1, 8-3. I couldn't be happier. Sure, we need to. There's some things we need to clean up, but for the most part, I think we're on the up and up, and I think we're going to continue to get better. And I think Mike McDaniel will clean up the turnovers, and I think as we seen yesterday was an example of him adjusting. And I think this is a turning point as far as maybe he found something that's going to put us over the top and get us to where we need to go, and that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% on that fact. So that's what we want. So, hey, someone else says something. Hey, you never know, Dolphin Don. That could happen. Kansas City could lose to the Raiders. You never know. Raiders gave us a tough battle, and it's a division rival game for them. So you never know. I was surprised that the Packers went and beat the Lions. I was starting to anoint the Lions as good, and then they were by skin and teeth just to beat the Chicago Bears the week before. So maybe the Lions aren't as super strong as we were all making them out to be, because I was starting to give them their big props up, and that they were really, and they're good. I mean, they're like guys. They got the same, they're playing well, but it's just they took one on the chin on Thanksgiving Day. Anyway, Steve, I'm going to find out the closeout video. Thank you so much for, like I said, spending some of our Saturday together.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
Go get those Christmas eggs out, so you're like everyone saying, look at that beautiful house that Mr. Steve keeps. So, all right, guys. Fins up. Oh, let me see. One more comment before we get out of here. All division games are tough. Your ability team to beat your division opponents. Yep, that is true. This is true. I think Packers Lions was rigged. All you conspiracy theories, but laugh out loud. Hey, I don't know about that. If anything, if it was rigged, you think they would rig it in the Lions' favor, wanting them to keep on a roll because of all their years of being bad on Thanksgiving. So I don't know what happens to them on Thanksgiving. When I was younger, it was the other way. The Lions would stink all year and then play well on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then now it's like they've been pretty good the past few years, and then they stink on Thanksgiving. So it's weird. So now, with that said, we're out of here. Thank you, Steve. And
absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right.
Dolphins number 1.
Dolphins number 1, baby.
Dolphins number 1. Fins up to all you guys.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, man, he knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show.